Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to cast on and off on the SENTRO knitting machine using waste yarn. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and let's get into it. In terms of the materials and things you will need to be able to do this, you will need your SENTRO knitting machine in whichever size that you have at home. You will also need two colours of yarn. I've got red and cream just for clarity on the demonstration, a pair of 5.5mm knitting needles and a pair of scissors. You will also need a sewing needle. So the first thing you want to do is make sure your machine is in the mode that you would like it to be in. So mine is in the panel mode. And what I'm going to do is cast on as per usual. Note that this is different to the tube setting, but I have a video tutorial on that I'll link below. And what we're going to do is work in 5 to 10 rows of our waste yarn colour. And we just want to make sure that first stitch catches. And if you find it doesn't, like mine, it just means that it's popped out the yarn holder. And you want to go around that stitch marker there. Okay, so we have now finished with our waste yarn. So what I'm going to do is just cut a tail. And what's good is you can reuse this piece every time that you cast on that many stitches. So I'm just going to put that in the middle. So what we want to do is insert that under there. And hold that tight. Just to make sure that this catches again. So to make sure that's sat nicely in there. And now we're going to work as many rows as we need to in our working yarn. I find that the slower you go, it's less likely to catch multiple stitches on the needles or the hooks, which just saves you a million problems rather than trying to speed through it. And the important thing here is you want to make sure you leave enough tail to be able to cast off with. Okay, so what we're going to do is attach our waste yarn. So I'm going to remove the red yarn from my yarn holder and put that in the middle. And we're going to do the same again of doing a couple of rows of waste yarn. So I have returned with my sewing needle, and what I'm going to do is just move the yarn out the way. And we're going to just cast this off the machine, so pops off all the loops. And as you can see, it's loose here, so what we need to do is tie a knot. And untangle all our yarn from the machine. So I'm just going to attach my sewing needle. And I'm just going to create a knot here. And we want to do the same on the other side. Okay, now to cast off. So if you're like me and you don't know how to crochet, you'll find that quite a lot of the tutorials show you how to crochet to finish off these pieces and take away the waste yarn. I do not know how to crochet, I'm trying to learn, but you can do it with knitting needles as well. So what you want to do is find that knot that you first created, and all you want to do is put your needle through the same way on all those red stitches. And you want to make sure you don't catch any of the white ones. And you should have the same number of stitches on your needle as you did on the machine. There you go. So as you can see, all our stitches are now on the needle, and what we need to do is remove the waste yarn. So this is one of my favourite parts, which is removing the waste yarn. Sometimes it can become a little tangled, but that is okay. We can get rid of it. Which, as you can see here, it looks like I pierced the thread, so that's why it's so difficult. So we just need to give it a pull. There you go, so you can see I had pierced the yarn, so I just need to give that a snip. Then from here, what you need to do is just cast off as normal, so I will show you quickly. So you want to just make sure that you have the tail end on the outer side of the needle. If you don't, what you can do is just simply slide it onto the other needle. And we just knit one stitch. This one I've twisted, so I'm just going to swap that round. Knit the second stitch, and we're going to lift that over. And we're just going to do that for all of them, which I think I've just twisted my stitches, which is fine. So if you find you've done the same as me and your stitches are rotating towards you rather than away, all you need to do is slide the right needle through, take the left needle out, put the left needle in through the front, and then the right needle underneath, wrap around, knit, lift the first stitch over the second, and pull tight. So we now have 2 stitches left on our needle. I'm going to pull the first stitch over the second, pull that tight, and what I'm going to do is trim this, as I don't need such a long tail. I'm going to put my sewing needle through the loop, remove the needle, and pull tight. And as you will see, you get a significantly neater cast off edge. And what's really good as well is if you wanted to reattach yarn here, you can simply create a knot with the yarn that you want to use and knit in whichever stitch you wanted. So if you were making cuffs for a jumper, you might have your sleeve and knit stitch, and you might want to do double rib here, and all you've got to do is attach some fresh yarn and knit away on your needles, and you can create some really lovely designs using the SENTRO knitting machine. So I need to do this on the other side, but I'm going to leave the video there. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, all that jazz. I hope you found this helpful, and any questions, just let me know in the comments.